I'm KJ, and I don't like books. I do like reading. See, I actually really enjoy reading articles, but I don't know, I just can't get into books. But today, I'm going to tell you a story about a true book lover. Meet Yoshi. She is 26 and living the London life, fulfilling her dream as a landscape architect. And as a more introverted person, she really values her personal reading time. So in order to read more, she actually participates in quite a few different book clubs. And though Yoshi is pretty well organized and she says, I always have a plan for everything, suddenly Yoshi falls into a bit of a problem. See, it's Friday. Yoshi's at work and she's in between meetings and she realizes that she has an upcoming book club on Monday and she has completely forgot to purchase a book, this book, for her upcoming autobiography series. And she needs to find a way to get this book in her hands as soon as possible. So this leads me to the problem statement. Yoshi needs a way to quickly order a book online and hopefully focus on at-home delivery because she needs to get this book in her hands for her upcoming book club meeting. So then she remembers, she has an aha moment. She has some loyalty points with her favorite local bookstore in the neighboring Bethnal Green. So she's a frequent user of their website and she wants to quickly go on order because she likes their next day delivery service to East London. So fortunately, I had the opportunity to work with Polaris Bookstore, my client, to help them build out their e-commerce bookstore. So to do that, I actually did a multitude of different research methods, which included field research, user interviews, and card sorting activities, as well as competitor analysis. So first, I visited a local bookshop called Waterstones. And in this field research, I talked to some customers, I did some people watching throughout the store, and I paid extra attention to the details. I was very impressed by their handwritten cards on all the bookshelves featuring their staff picks or their featured books of the month. I also liked their attention to detail with the wallpaper. So it added this cozy feeling, but also enhanced kind of this whole picture of their brand, which I really wanted to help with my client, Polaris Books, and kind of give that similar feeling for them to have a cohesive brand. And beyond the field research, I did 2 years of interviews with similar personalities to Yoshi. From there, I did card sorting activities, 3 of them actually. 1 closed and 2 open card sorts based off of that closed. And I found these activities super fascinating to just analyze the different mental models of people and figuring out how they map out and categorize subjects within a system. And I learned a lot from this. I actually took all of my data and put it right into a spreadsheet. And this was where a lot of my data-driven decisions came from. And this led right into how I organized the site and my global navigation. So I took all the data, put them side by side, tried to figure out different categories, color-coded, and like I said, that's where a lot of my data came from. And then I did a competitor analysis. So I took Polaris's main goals, their top 10 goals. You'll see 5 featured here. And I took those goals and compared them to a variety of competitors, one being a global marketplace like Amazon, and the other 4 are more local, smaller, UK-based bookstores. So you'll see pros and cons of each. However, when I did the whole analysis, visiting Waterstones in person, they had such a great user experience and in the store, but I found that their site was actually really well organized, and it also had a similar online presence, or a great online presence. So I actually took a lot of inspiration from their global navigation. And finally, after all of those research methods, I brought it back to Yoshi. I actually got a lot of design inspiration from her favorite brands. You'll see a pattern here with similar layouts, including Muji down to Pinterest. And I brought that into the final prototypes and throughout the whole process. I I really wanted to keep that in mind for Yoshi. So I started sketching. And first I hypothesized, because Yoshi, it's Friday, she needs this book really quick. For her, browsing isn't an option. She needs it fast, she knows the book. So first I hypothesized search. And I really went into the sketching process, went through wireframes, went through prototypes. And as I got into Envision, I found that I couldn't mock up the experience of that functionality like I was envisioning. So I actually pivoted a little bit, and I changed her, or I thought about her user journey as going through the navigation instead of search. And from there, you'll see in the demo coming up in a few minutes, and how that goes through her journey. But in addition to this, finding the optimal solution, basically as the designer, I was really trying to find that balance between the data-driven decisions from the research, the bringing it back to Yoshi and the design inspiration. You'll see in the prototype that there's a lot of use of white space and big bold pictures like Pinterest, and then also the user interviews and the different activities, in addition to bringing it to the goals of Polaris Books as the client. So I took the prototype and I actually conducted 7 different usability tests. I gained a lot of insight from that. One of the most interesting features was the checkout process. And in general, most of the users actually really enjoyed the simplicity, the flow and the feel of the checkout process, but 100% of them wanted more details. In some way, they needed some more words or just some more detailed checkout. So from there, I want to highlight 2 different iterations. The first being the filters and categories. So within the flow of the usability tests, when users got to this point, the category page of biographies and true stories, they actually got a little confused. Some of them, maybe there were too many categories, maybe they were spaced out awkwardly, they weren't really sure where to go next. And in fact, the majority of the users from the testing were actually looking for a music category because they knew the book was Chronicles Volume 1, an autobiography by Bob Dylan, so Bob Dylan, music. So I actually brought in music category into the final prototype. And then the next one, bringing it back to the checkout process, which you'll see in the prototype demo. There was a lot of work there with the details. You'll see that this just wasn't clear enough, that much more needed to be incorporated in the prototype. So I will show you the demo here. Okay, remind you, this is Yoshi. It's Friday, she needs her book as soon as possible. So because she's in a book club featuring autobiographies and biographies, she's very familiar with this site. So she knows exactly where to go. Nonfiction, so she scrolls down the global navigation to nonfiction, sees the different categories, okay, biography and true stories. And then within biography and true stories, she knows this book that she needs is about Bob Dylan, so she sees the category here, music. And then she scrolls down, okay, there's the book that I need, Chronicles Volume 1. And she wants to know a little bit more about this book. So she comes here, she reads, she's already really excited to read it, but then she sees that it's 5 stars, there's plenty of reviews, and it's a winner of a Nobel Prize in Literature, so she's just even more excited to get it in her hands. So she's ready to check out. She sees these clear buttons here, add to basket. And then she sees this pop up, and she remembers she has some loyalty points, so she's actually going to be able to use some free delivery with that. So she double checks, okay, the right book, $7.99. Let's go through checkout. Okay, she's been here before, she's a frequent user, that's her email. Then she goes through, okay, delivery, home delivery, that's great. Shipping, that's my home address. Click next. It's the payment. Oh wait, let me double check. Is that the right card? Yes, that's the right card. Here's my order, and it's all ready to go. Place my order, order confirmed. So back to next steps. I just want to do additional filter functionalities. maybe explore the different categories, add additional pages to the prototype, and explore animations and more interactivity, trying to get that search feature. But thank you for listening today, and hopefully I can like books more now after this.